right, guys. Well, congratulations, man. Nail in the Coffin. I thought it was a masterpiece documentary. So. Here at Bionic Buzz, we're always about people's passion. Ian, you get into your passion about wrestling later in the documentary. But I want to start with you, Michael. I mean, you've been a filmmaker for quite some time. You executive produced the cult hit Turbo Kid. I want to know where your passion for filmmaking kind of came from. Who led you? I think this is like your first directorial dispute, right, for this documentary?
Yeah, I know it is. It is. I think my passion for film goes back to my brother when I was like 4 years old, and he used to terrorize me. He used to babysit me, and he would terrorize me and make me watch all those Universal monster films.
Very cool.
When I was about 4, and then after the movie was over, he would then chase me throughout the house and try to catch me and stuff like that. So I was traumatized. From that day on, I was hooked on horror films.
I love it. Ian, I guess your passion for wrestling came when you watched, was it the Road Warriors on TV? You counted them as a 2-minute punk rock song.
Yeah, kind of something like that.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of before the big boom of wrestling on TV, and I saw it, and yeah, when I saw those guys come out, and you know, the Mad Max movie that's kind of where they took their character development from. So that was, you know, and being a young punk rocker, there was only movies like Repo Man and, you know, the Mad Max stuff. So it was kind of still all being invented as we went along. And that was a huge influence on me seeing that for sure.
I love that. Let's talk about the timetable. When did you guys start doing this documentary, thinking about it? Because obviously it takes a lot of passion to put something together like this, because it takes a long time to get done, you know?
I think it was. I think we were filming for about 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I know it's quite a long time. It was quite a while, and like documentary, it's not like a typical movie where you have, like, you know, 4 weeks to shoot the film. This is his life. So it's like, you know, it's like, okay, Dasha's graduation's coming up in a few weeks. Okay, we got to go to that. You know, we got to go to LA to Lucha Underground. So it's like, you know, we got to fly to Mexico for something, you know. So it was just jumping around in places like that and just and you know, putting our story together. So yeah, almost about 3 years.
I felt like probably most of the budget went to like just miles to fly around all these places.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, no kidding. Exactly.
I think the best thing about a documentary is it's not just a wrestling doc. I kind of feel like it's more of a father and daughter documentary the father just happens to be a wrestler, and someone who's a father to a 7-year-old daughter was pretty moving at times. And Ian, I felt your pain at times when you talking to your daughter, want her to get you to say I love you back, and she just could care less. You know, it's like, so was that aspect more of like the filmmaking aspect, or it was more just happened organically while filmmaking, you know?
It's 100% organic. It's seeing those scenes. It's strange being looked at as Vampiro, but being just like every other father in the world. You know, even me. I remember being a teenager, and my mom or my whatever it's in my family would say, you know, we love you, we miss you, and I'd be like, yeah, I get it. You don't know how to respond at that time because it doesn't mean anything. And you know, going through the mental health issues and reaching out to my daughter so much. It's like a security blanket thing. You know, it's a superstition. It's just part of a ritual. I don't want to do anything before I speak to the people closest to me in case something happens and I get hurt. So it's always a big superstition, even when I was younger, doing whatever it is I was doing in life. So yeah, there's nothing in that movie that's staged. It's absolutely, Michael just has an amazing talent of just letting me be me, and he found a way to get that on film. I don't know how he did it, but he was amazing. Yeah, it's everything you see is because of him.
Well, I was a big fan of Vampiro back in WCW days, because I think it was just, you were so organic as a music fan and a wrestler, and I kind of, as someone who loved both. Oh, there goes his face.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Look at that.
Very cool. One aspect I really loved, and he actually showed it in the documentary, was, you know, bringing the Misfits in WCW, which I thought was so cool at the time. So, you know, was there any?
Smoke a lot of weed, brother. Smoke a lot of fucking weed, homie.
Is that how you like approached them about that? You just like showed up at one of their shows and be like, "Hey, you guys want to wrestle with me?" or something? The Misfits.
I had to think. No, I've been a fan. You know, if growing up in my era, the Misfits, and to find a Misfits cassette, not even a vinyl, to find a cassette was like you struck the lottery in the underground. So even, you know, just my whole life, seeing pictures of the Misfits was like really rare because they broke up before the boom happened.
Yeah.
Of anything. And then when I saw they were coming out, I read an interview with Jerry Oley in some magazine, and I saw they had a new version of the band and a new album. So I contacted the record company and I said, hey, I'm a fan, I'm doing this. I have this idea. Would it be possible to use a song? Because it goes with the imagery and stuff like that. And then I got a phone call back and it's like, no. They want to meet you. They want to do things with you. And I was like, well, they're going to be in Minneapolis playing across the street from where I'm wrestling for TV. So we set up a meeting, and I went to that meeting, and it was like, 9 a.m. when I got there, and they were in the bar doing their sound check and all that kind of stuff. And the way you see the Misfits, that's how they are 24/7. The only, Doyle was painting up, and they had just finished working out. And Jerry Only's Jerry Only. I mean, that's the way he is 24/7. So it was pretty surreal, but it was pretty friggin' cool. It's the Misfits, and we just walked across the street. We had a quick conversation. We got along just like that. And
another thing of music that I had no idea is you worked with Milli Vanilli, and actually your iconic braided look came from them. Like, I had no idea. That's really cool. So,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, this is before you as a wrestler, right? What was your job exactly with them? You just followed them around? You was an assistant, or?
No, I was a bodyguard. I was working security in a bunch of nightclubs in Los Angeles, and there was a club that had a night. And Billy Idol and Mickey Rourke were like the names behind that night. So it was, the guys, Harley Davidson's, the long hair, that whole mid 80s, late 80s rocker thing. Like the Guns N' Roses was just hitting, Faster Pussycat, LA Guns, all the hair bands were just becoming hair bands. And I was a doorman in the club, and the guy I was staying with he's an actor, Michael Paszt. He did Eddie and the Cruisers and Streets of Fire and all these things. And he said, I need somebody to watch my house. I'll get you a job in a club and just watch my house while I go to Italy and do this movie. So I went to Hollywood, and the girl he was dating was the manager of Milli Vanilli. Mm-hmm. And she came to me and said, look, these guys don't have a clue. You kind of know what you're doing. We need a babysitter for these guys for a world tour. And that was it.
Wow. What a life, man. I mean, as a wrestler and as a bodyguard, maybe a rock star.
It's crazy for me with the Milli Vanilli stuff. It's like, oh my God, like you could go down a whole documentary, like a complete rabbit hole down there about, Vamp and his time with Milli Vanilli. It's just
and knowing
amazing.
The dark secret about them too,
Yeah.
That is one great thing about this documentary as a wrestling fan is we get to see kind of like behind the scenes. I mean, like, working the board, as aspects of dealing with people. I think that I might get this line wrong, but it was like dealing with people's steroids and egos is like the hardest part of working with wrestlers backstage. It must have been really hard for you just to be able to capture this, trying to be a fly on the wall, Michael, because I mean, there were some fights backstage that we got to see, and, tried to get in the way, but
Yeah, no, I mean, first of all, I'm a fan. I love wrestling since I was 4 or 5 years old as well. So and for me, it was a dream come true being behind the scenes and being there. And it's funny because at the same time, I'm kind of geeking out when I'm behind the scenes there, but at the same time, I got to focus and we got to get this action. But it wasn't really it wasn't too difficult because there was so much stuff going on all the time.
Yeah.
That it was pretty much point and shoot. It was interesting now because the whole thing was that when Triple Mania 25 was happening, it was just follow Vampiro, just follow him everywhere because stuff's going to happen, and that was kind of our plan. As soon as we strayed away and we turned around, it was like, someone would say, "Oh, we got to get back there, Vampiro. Something's going on. We have to go back," right? So we stuck following him around, which was, and it was awesome. And it's I think at the end of the day, it's Ian talked about steroids and you know, egos and all that sort of stuff. It's alpha. It's an alpha world there, man. Behind the stage, everybody is ready to eat you up. You know what I mean? And they test you all the time. They test us too. The crew, like they don't like it was something else. It was pretty. It was awesome, but at the same time, it is pretty intimidating with a lot of the guys and the women too.
Yeah, definitely. It's fun aspect, like I said, as a wrestling fan to see, you know, because we always see what's on the camera. You know, I think a lot of us want to see behind the scenes stuff. You know, so it's great. So anyway, guys, anything coming up for you guys before I let you go? I mean, I know you got this documentary coming out, and you know, working on anything else? Any other projects you want to plug?
Yeah, I'm doing another series. I got a show on right now on El Rey. My own talk show. I'm doing another series right now. I'm doing the second part of this documentary, and I'm in pre-production for a third series that starts come January, and that'll have a spoken word tour attached to it. So
cool.
Very busy. Yeah, extremely busy. Very grateful, very thankful. But this movie is, it means so much to me because it's, I was really, really nervous. I didn't want it to be a wrestling movie because there's just so much more. Wrestling's a big part of my life, but I don't think I would have done this with anybody else because Michael came up with this idea. This is Michael's idea about the connection between me and my daughter. I didn't see that. And I'm so grateful that he did, because who cares about wrestling? Documentaries about behind the scenes. We've all seen enough of those.
Yeah.
Wrestlers are human beings, the sacrifices we make, the things we go through. Not a lot of people come out and talk about that. All the wrestlers really have a big ego and they want to be superhuman. I don't give a shit about any of that. Anything comes of this movie, I hope parents understand how important it is to have communication with their kids. So Michael did an amazing job on covering all those bases, right? So hopefully it helps people see that.
Oh, absolutely.
Things, right? So
like I said, it's a father-daughter documentary, and the daddy just happens to be a wrestler. You know?
Yeah, I think that as much as I'm a fan, I think the most important message for myself going through it was that it's a story about family, and in a love of one's daughter or son, or that's the strength of family, and seeing what we're all going through today with lockdown and COVID and all that sort of stuff. The closest thing that most of us can turn to is to our family, right? So.
Absolutely.
It's the big message for me. I've got a daughter as well, 2 daughters, we should say. And some of the people we interviewed, like Daniel Tibbetts, the president of El Rey, was one of my favorite parts where he was talking about his daughters.
Yeah.
And it was cool because we were just talking, and there's all this connection about family and our kids and all that, and it was a real special. That was a special moment for me. And I think my favorite part was when Ian and Dasha were in the restaurant and they were talking. That was probably my favorite part.
That was a great moment. Then it was like heartbreaking to see Ian trying to like leave the restaurant. How much pain he was in.
That's right. I didn't know he was hiding it. He was hiding it from us. We tried to get him out of the house and he wouldn't come out. I couldn't figure out why he didn't want to come out. And I coaxed him, got Dasha to coax him to come out for this thing, and then I saw what was going on, and I was like, oh my God, So I mean, it's tough, even sometimes because Ian was trying to hide it from us as well, and but I think what's cool about this film is that we both went through a journey together, and I think we've come out stronger on the other side of it. So I think that's cool too.
Awesome. You got anything in the works, Michael, before I let you go, or? I know a lot of things up in the air.
I know as a company, Raven Banner, we got, we got a movie called We Got Spare Parts. We got Psycho Gorman coming out soon. That was played at South by Southwest. Really excited about that. We got, 3 other Raven Banner titles we got going. So it's nonstop for us. We love horror films. We love genre movies, heavy metal, you name it, right? So
Oh yeah,
we love all that stuff, and we're passionate. So
very well. Keep up the amazing work, both of you guys. Nail in the Coffin arrives in limited theaters Friday, September 4th, and VOD digital on Tuesday, September 8th via Epic Pictures. You can also pre-order the Blu-ray. Get more information by visiting epic-pictures.com. Thank you guys so much, and we'll talk down the road, all right?
Thank you, brother.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Have fun in space, man.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Please support this video by giving it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and hit that subscribe button while you're down there. Thank you so much.